Hi everyone, thanks for joining today. I'm Abhishek, Senior Data Scientist, and today I'm gonna help you with some of your questions regarding to data science. How can you transition into the data science? What are the resources that you can get? And I'm gonna tell you the answers of a lot of your questions. So if you have any of the questions, just paste in the chat comment box so I can take that comments and give the answer on the fly. So let's start with the agenda for today. Yep. So overall, we are going to talk about the transition to data science. What are the things you need to do, and what are the resources, and what are the things you need to learn. Plus, some of the things like how you can apply the on the jobs, and what are the things you needed, how to approach to the recruiters in data science. We'll discuss those today. Yeah. So in overall, the general agenda will look like how can you move to the field of data science? Where should one start? What are the resources should you refer to? Job roles for the data science that are available, and where do you apply and how to go about it? And we will block a large time for Q&A. So any of you have any question, anything, just paste in the comments and that I can take it up. So I can see your comments are coming from LinkedIn and YouTube, so that's fine. Please do add. We'll take those things. So let's start the session with the first question. How can you move to the field of data science? So this is a common question. Many people want to start in data science. They do not have prior experience. Data science is very popular today. Why? Because people, there is a more of a demand and less of a supply for a data science skills. That's why many people learning this, and it is very interesting. You see, you can build something that can predict a value, and that has a lot of value proposition. So that's why everyone wants to move. Every companies which was earlier web focused or mobile focused now is an AI focused. So it has a lot of scope, and that's why the data science is important and everyone wants to move. So what are the skills you needed to move into the data science? So let's talk about those first. First, you need to learn about programming. Programming, it's not about like C++ or Java conventional programming you do in your academics. Here, some of the languages like Python, R, or SQL can serve better because Python has a lot of skills, a lot of libraries that built into for the data science that makes your task easier. Just say if you are familiar with some of the data science and machine learning algorithm like linear regression, logistic regression, you don't need to code from scratch. Those are ready-made available in Python. So you can just use it, and those are very much optimized. So similarly for R has a good set of packages. You can use R also, and the SQL also. SQL is important because sometimes you need to do data processing. Data is available at different location. You have to take it, merge it, and process it. So SQL is also one of the very important language. But you don't need to know all. Like Python, R knowledge is fine. When you learn these programming language, do focus on data structures and algorithm. I'm not saying you need to know the all the advanced algorithm, but some of the data structure like linked list, tree, graph, and some of the algorithm like greedy algorithm approach, dynamic programming, basics you need to know. Why? Because first, whenever you do your job, if you know the concept behind the language like hash maps, so you can design the job better. You can write the queries or write your code that run faster, and that is very important because not all the time we apply the library. We have to spend a lot of time in data processing. That's why the knowledge of algorithm is important. Second, many companies take the coding interviews as an initial set of interviews to go into the data science field. So if you think your first step to get a job as a decent job in data science, coding is important, and you need to know some of the data structure and algorithm knowledge. Second is you need to know some mathematics. Mathematics, which are important for machine learning, are linear algebra, probability, and statistics. Linear algebra play a foundation in many of the algorithms in machine learning. Probability is the same. You need to know the probability concepts, and same with the calculus and statistics. So these are important, so you know how the algorithm is working. Usually we do not use much, but whenever we want to decide which algorithm to choose for our task, we use mathematics help to do that. So that's why it's important. And then obviously machine learning. You need to know some of the knowledge about how different algorithm works, in what scenario, what kind of algorithms you can apply. You can start with very simple or supervised learning, then go with the unsupervised learning, and then move to the deep learning, reinforcement learning, more on the NLP side, and the explainable AI side, AutoML side. But start with the basic first. Start with the core ML first and understand each of the algorithm. What are the different parameters of those algorithm? How can you tackle bias and variance on those algorithms? These are very important. And then finally, solve problems. Solving problems are very important, because just because based on your knowledge in programming and knowledge of algorithm will not help you much. If you haven't applied your knowledge in the real projects, that means you're not ready for the job. So if your job do not like work around or hover around data science, how can you do that? There are a lot of sources like Kaggle. They always run some kind of competition. You can take part of it. You can build your community just with your connection, and as a team you can take part of it, and you can just see their past project, whatever the approaches that they have taken. Similarly, many hackathons, like public hackathon, where user keep posting about their solution, their details, so you can start their project and improve your accuracy and other performance measures. By that, you will learn a lot. So yep, this is like, these are the skills you needed to move into the data science. Now the another important question is, where should one start? Okay, so there are two approaches I can think if you want to start in data science. One is learn by yourself. So there are plenty of resources available for programming, for learning Python. I will cover every of those resources in detail, which helped me in learning about data science initially, and still I am using those resources today to improve myself over the time. So you can choose about the free resources. You need to stick to the time, and yeah, you can complete. The other option is you can choose some other online degree program. For example, Scaler's data science program, Scaler's machine learning program. They're very good. You can just attend that and you can follow this thing, because these programs covered end to end whatever you needed. So you will get what is skills or everything needed for data science. And one thing is very important in learning data science, or I feel if anything you're trying into the new skill, is consistency. It's not like you block 1 week of time and complete everything and then you become a data scientist. No, you have to do a small amount of things daily, like schedule your 30 minutes of time or 1 hour of time, and then start regularly. First start with learning Python. In 2-3 weeks you can finish that, then start with learning mathematics and you can finish that, and keep that thing in your work. So once after you dedicate your time consistently, you build a habit of learning consistently, then you can see improvement or the skills growing in you after 2-3 months. So consistency is very important, whatever path you follow. Okay, so the next question, and yeah, please keep posted whatever your question. I will make sure to take it your question in the Q&A sessions. So do not hesitate. If you think anything, please post your questions. The next topic is around the resources. What resources you can refer to learn data science? So let's go each one by one. What I spoke earlier. First, about programming. Some of the free resources available is python.org. You can just directly go to the website. You can learn the basics of the Python. So the good part is they keep updating their themselves, like whatever the new Python version is running around, you can just check their documentation and they have good tutorials, so you can learn from there. Then W3 schools, this is also one of the very good sources. Kaggle Python notebooks. So Kaggle also started providing free Python notebooks so that you can learn, you can experiment. And the good thing is you don't need even your machine to have that much of capability. You can just use Kaggle server to run your code. Some of the other things to practice about the data structure and algorithm, like lead code, code forces, top coders, you can just take part of the competition. Scaler also hosts some of the coding competition, so you can take part and just improve yourself. Taking part in the competition is important because you know where you stand. Like suppose you're solving a problem in 40 minutes, 50 minutes, you're taking so much time in solving a problem and just understanding in 20 minutes, but the other person is solving in just 10 minutes. That means something is getting wrong. Like you need to know the concepts, you need to practice more. solving is not about just solving, it's how fast you can solve, how efficiently you can solve. So these things matter in the interviews. So that's why I take part in the competition. You will know what are the key areas for you to improve on. Then about mathematics, some of the good resources that I followed is on NPTEL. So NPTEL is a website where lecturers post their videos. These are freely available. You can just browse whatever topics you need. The one thing you need to limit yourself is these videos are in much depth. So just cover something, whatever you need to learn. You don't need, for example, algebra session, it's a 41 hours lecture. So you don't need to cover everything in detail. Just learn some of the basics, some initial set of videos, and then you can again revisit later whenever you need. Another book which I followed is The Element of Statistical Learning from Springer. You can check that book. That is also one of the very good resources to learn mathematics. Then go with the next set of sources is machine learning. Machine learning, there are very good GitHub sources. One is made with ml.net. They have a lot of ready-made code available, and they have a series of steps that where you can learn how to apply the algorithms in the production, how to build the algorithm, how to create a feature store, how to apply feature engineering, a lot of more things. Google AI education. Yes, Google sources are available free. You can just Google it, and you will land up to the page of Google AI education where they teach how to apply AI. Some Kaggle learning, as I mentioned earlier, Kaggle provided notebooks for Python. They also provided notebooks for machine learning, feature engineering tasks. You can just follow the steps and apply in one of their competitions. And there is one book which I used to refer earlier, that is Hands-on Machine Learning with Scikit-learn. So it's a very good book. It covers some of the machine learning, some of the deep learning, and with a very practical examples. So that is one of the good book to start with if you're a book fan. Then on the machine learning advanced side, what I do is whatever the companies that is working in machine learning, for example, Uber, Netflix, Meta, they publish their research on their blogs. So just go to those papers or research projects and start learning, like how they applied, how Meta built the Instagram platform, or how they improved the notification service, or how Netflix improved the recommendation, how they provide different images depending on the users. They publish some part of their research openly. So just look at that, and that will also be helpful for your interviews. But those are very good areas to think in a ML way of any of the problem. So sometimes what happen, we think that machine learning is just taking the data and apply. This is only partially true. 90% of the time, you have to form the business problem. You have to find what are the right features and initially work with the stakeholders to get the right amount of data. If that is not available to you, your algorithm is just useless. If you get everything perfect set up, you can just apply algorithm. You don't need a very advanced deep learning knowledge to do something. Some of the cases like natural language processing, speech processing, or vision task, that can be solved better using deep learning. But usually the problem which we are seeing in the world, a lot of data, simple machine learning is fine. So do spend more time in feature learning and understanding the business problem. That is important. So you can learn this thing how these companies are doing, because they focus more on features, how they created the pipeline, and very less on the machine learning algorithm, and that is important. And then system design. So system design is also kind of optional. Only if you are experienced, you are already having some engineering roles, engineering background, and want to go into the machine learning, this is important. Otherwise, if you just want to start in machine learning, this or maybe looking for entry level role, it is not important. But if you are switching to machine learning as a software engineer, you should check out some system design sources. One is the System Design Premier, that is available on the GitHub. And what I usually do is I check some of the conferences like NIPS, I check ICML. Those have some of the talks where the people talk about how they created the systems for their machine learning pipeline to host. Also on the YouTube, you can find a bunch of system design videos. So just go through them, learn the idea, what are the things you needed to run your ML system. So these are all the sources which I used in the past or keep using myself to improve myself. Okay. So let's talk about the job roles. What are the different job roles are available in data science? Also, if you are belong to some specific role, you need help with any of your question just to paste in the comments. I'm getting the access of all the comments. I will keep at the end of the session. So make sure you post it, whatever your role is. You want some guide, I will help you today. So what are the different roles available where you can try? The roles are, let me go through one by one. First is data analyst. This is very entry level role where you have to deal a lot of with processing of the data, and you have to do cleaning of the data. You need to know about the SQL knowledge. You need to build the story around the data. So what happened whenever you want to start it, this kind of a easy role where you can start, you can get the idea of the data, you can build a foundation for yourselves to apply the machine learning and your other knowledge into the job. So data analyst, I would say it's a good role. Many of the financial companies like McKinsey, Goldman Sachs, they provide a very good data analyst role where you can get an experience of some machine learning and deep learning. So do apply, do check those things. The another role is a data scientist role. So data scientist, earlier companies prefer having a PhD in this, but we know the demand and supply rule. PhDs are less, and the industry needs more and more on the data scientist side. So if you think like every startups is now, it's an AI powered, they need the data scientists to build their pipeline. So but they don't have sufficient resources. Even when people do the PhDs, they do on very specific area, like one kind of area in natural language processing or auto ML. So their degree might not be useful for the everyone. So that's why now industry is not following that trend. It's open. Anyone can take a data scientist position. Even you don't need an engineering degree for that. You can just do whatever the knowledge you have, the minimum skills, and you can just learn from somewhere and apply those things. Data scientists, coming to the specific of the role, deal with generally the data and the machine learning part. They research about whatever the right algorithm depending on the problem. See, in the literature, we think if you have some of the knowledge that algorithm X works always better than algorithm Y. That is not, that can be true in academics, but that is not true in the case of production. When you apply to the production, there are a lot of concern, like what is the latency. Suppose if you're building, if you're experiencing Prime Videos or Hotstar, you are watching something, and then the system is providing you recommendation after 20 seconds. Will you wait? No, probably you will switch to another thing. So they're not using very much highly intense algorithm that takes a lot of time in computation. They're using some other logic to build that. So yeah, data scientist role is to identify what are the best algorithm, do some of the research for the problem. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to do any of the work regarding the data and the pipeline. Data scientists play a between role in the stakeholders of the problem, like business stakeholders, your leaderships, and with the system engineers. So they know where to fit the problem, how to convince the message from A to B, so that they know they connect properly, and the business problems can be solved using these resources or engineering resources that is available. So data scientist role is very crucial, and that's why like industry is moving into the opening more and more positions for data scientists. Another role is applied scientist, very much mix of, I would say 70% is a mix of data scientist and ML engineer. You take the knowledge, you work with other data scientists, and you can apply their algorithm. So maybe not apply those algorithm into the production environment, but generate some of the POCs, and in kind of another side project production environment where you can test on the user traffic data without impacting them. So applied scientist is more like a experimenter role, very much similar to a data scientist. They have to use with the uh, algorithms and all the data and all. Then it comes to ML engineer or machine learning engineer. Machine learning engineers' primary responsibility is to build the end-to-end pipeline. They work with data scientists, they work with system engineers to build the pipeline. Data pipelines are much different and has a very different culture than the system pipeline. For example, in system, you concern about the scaling, availability, and all. Here also you concern about those, but you also concern about how fast is your system, how much available is your system, or what is the best sources to get the data, how you can apply the feedback loop, and all. So we'll discuss all of this thing in probably in another set of videos. But yeah, the ML engineer role is to create a end-to-end pipeline of this. So if you are very much coming from a software engineering background and you have a lot of interest in data science and just want to apply those algorithms in the production environment, ML engineer role is best for you. And then it comes to data engineer. Data engineer is not concerned much about the machine learning part, but about the managing of the data. So consider like data is huge. Think of a scale of a YouTube or Netflix. That's a huge thing. How you search on the data, how YouTube recommends you something, and how you can get very much good buffering, even your mobile data. So all of these things is built on a strong platform. So data engineering team is needed to keep managing all the data coming and out and processing it efficiently. So ML engineer again work with data engineering team to build this pipeline and they do this. So if you are interested in Spark, interested in big data processing, Hadoop, MapReduce, you can just start with looking for the data engineering roles. It is also called as big data engineer. It's the similar concept. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Please keep posting your question. I am also will answer a few more questions here, and then we'll go to the live questions. The next topics that we are going to cover is how to apply. Okay. So you know what are the skills needed. You learn your from free sources, or you can join some program like Scaler to learn those skills. Everything is perfect. Now how to start applying for the job? What are the companies that can give you the jobs on the data science? You're coming from background X. How can you position yourself as a data scientist? Okay. So first, which these are the things that help me most, is build a strong LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is very much industry standards, and companies are using this to just find out the suitable candidates. So build your LinkedIn profile. What are the things you need to build in your LinkedIn profile? Is a right title, the right description of your job, whatever you are doing, and make it like a data scientist resume. What the data scientist or what a data analyst do, they provide an impact that you worked on this system or this problem, and you generated X amount of revenue, or you improved the system by Y%. So put these kind of impact statement in your LinkedIn profile along with your job summaries and everything. Because if you're transitioning to something, why the other person will hire you? If you have the right analytical abilities, then that means you can ready to do that job with the learning you have. So put your profile accordingly. Whatever the courses you attend, put that in your LinkedIn. Whatever the certification you did, just add in the LinkedIn. And the project, whatever you learn from your data science program, every project has some kind of description. Then you have to like give some performance number like accuracy, RMSE, or there are different based on the task on NLP or something. Just put those number. For example, I worked on this cars recommendation, and the click through rate was 5% or something. So add those numbers. That will make more your profile more analytical. Try to get the recommendation from your colleagues, from your managers, or whoever you worked in the past, especially focused on the data science, because that thing matters. Like you maybe not working as a data scientist right now, but you have analytical abilities, you have the analyst skills to do that. So these things important, and just make a connection, like connect with a lot of other people who can help you, can guide you, find a mentor that can on the LinkedIn who can guide you in the process. So that is one of the important process. So once you build your strong profile, then you started appearing on the recruiter search for the suitable role, and they can probably directly connect you with you. And then yeah, LinkedIn has a once you create your profile, you can open yourself for the job search. LinkedIn also recommends you based on your experience. So it's a two-way approach. Then shortlist some of the companies where you want to go. Suppose you want to go Google, you want to Meta, Amazon. Just shortlist those companies and keep monitoring their career pages. Just go to their career site, sort it as a recent, and then start applying. If it is suitable for your experience, then just do it. Sometimes what happen, companies listed that they need 5 years of experience. One of the job posting I've seen that needs 5 years of experience as an applied scientist, but it is not necessary in the ML. They mentioned it. So it's your opportunity. The work is, description is about ML. You can just go inside with your coding skills or system design skills, and you can just perform the operation. And maybe later, if you want, you can just switch to other company, because at that time you have a data science skills also. So many people do it, and it's totally fine to learn something. You can do that. Connect with recruiters on LinkedIn. Many people keep posting about the updates. Follow them, connect them, and just ask them like if they know something, because they have connection, internal connection. They can help you with some of the right positions. participate in Kaggle competition hackathons. So what happened? Different companies organize hackathons and they sponsor them. Why they sponsoring them? Because they are also feeling the shortage of demand and supply. That's why they're posting their competition on Kaggle. So you can take a part, try hard to make it in the top list, and just like be with it. So when you put your result on the top, the companies start noticing it. You create your profile, you mention your LinkedIn, you mention your email, they start connecting with you. So this is also one of the way to showcase your skills. And if you manage to get top 10 roles in Kaggle and hackathon, that's a good value addition in your resume also, because you haven't got a chance till now, but you're very open for these kind of things. Like you solve the problem, you demonstrated your learning capability, so why would company not take you? Yeah. And some of the companies like Meta, IBM, they provide AI residency program where they train people for 3 to 6 months on AI. They It's a very intense program, and it's a lot of learning. Like they groom you and they give you some problems to solve and you perform it. So this is a great chance to learn in these virtual internship. Check out all the top product companies are doing it. So they take some prior test, but that doesn't necessary in the machine learning. You just need a algorithmic knowledge to clear it. So just take it. And it's not only for like recent graduates or something. It's open for everyone. Even if you have 20 years of experience, you can just join some company's AI residency program. uh, yeah, to be clear, it's not a paid program. You will get the internship amount or a stipend after that. It's a same internship program, but it's designed to bring the awareness and taken the AI talent out. So that's what these companies are doing. And yeah, one last thing is to connect with someone who is working in that company as an engineering manager, software developer, or data scientist. So they can refer you, tell them about your story, why you are passionate about, and they can give you a referral, because companies prefer internal referrals a lot. Internal referrals are good way to hire a talent. And yeah, people know someone, they can just fast track their process. It doesn't mean that you don't have to take an interview. Interviews are always there, but you get a better chance because your application will be noticed. So find some referral and yeah, you'll be good with it. So yeah, this is all some of the questions I can think which can benefit all of you. Now, let me go through I got a good number of questions. I am going through all of these and yep, we'll be answering. So okay, so first question is degree important? Well, it was earlier, but not now. Because the demand, as I mentioned, the demand and supply, like you don't have that much of suitable candidate for the role. And even they have the degree, it's not guaranteed that they have the right skills for that job. So company is just moving out for this process where they need specific degrees. Yes, there are few areas like where you need a degree, but these are very less. I would say 1 or 5%. Whatever your degree is, if you have the right amount of skills, you can just apply, or you can just get shortlisted and work. So in my previous company, I worked with great people. They don't have engineering degree, but they're so great. Like they're so great mentors, have very much specific the skills needed for the job, and that is important. So yeah, just be it. Degree is not that much important. Your skills are, make sure whatever you're applying, whatever skills you're learning in detail. Either you're learning with data structure or something, learn in depth so you know where to apply those skills. Okay. So another question is how to switch career from non-technical to data science in and have an experience in finance and want to move to DS. Yeah. So whenever you want to switch into the data science, don't think you are beginning from the scratch. You work somewhere, you got the knowledge of that area, and that is great. Suppose you're working for 8 years or 10 years in finance or something other, marketing or something, and you want to data science. That's great because you already have how the industry move. Now what you can do is you can apply your data science knowledge into that skill. So there are multiple ways to do that. First, find some of the suitable position in your company. Like you are already working on some firm, and if they have some kind of data science position, so talk to internally with the hiring manager, convince them that you learned something, you attended some of the course, you have the right skills, and you're already in business. If not, then probably try other finance companies which have the open position. You worked on that industry, either finance, marketing, or manufacturing, anything else. You know in and outs of that industry. So you can make your resume in a way that you can provide the impact. You just need to add some of the numbers, and you can speak about that. So use your skills to get a job. And if not, maybe if you just want to apply, just keep mention whatever the work you did, and then provide the impact statement in your resume or in your LinkedIn profile that you worked on this problem in this domain and you improved the system by Y%, or you were contributor in the new sales or something in some region. Just mention with the numbers. That will always help. So, okay, another question is, can we use C++ for data science? Yes, you can use. C++ has good number of libraries. Even sometimes when you need very much fast performance, but you don't need that much of algorithm, you can use. And today, the good part about the libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch is they provide you the model in a format that you can just port it to any other programming language. So it's fine. The only problem I got when I was learning in C++ or Java is that has a less number of resources compared to Python and R. So whenever you see some of the new model is coming, the first API that they launch is about in the Python. So that's why learning Python is beneficial. With C++, you can learn. Also, one more advice, because from the academics, I also started with C++. If you already know the language fundamentals and everything, going to Python or R is super easy. I think in few days you can just learn because you already know how to code. You just need to change your mindset to some other language, and it is not very much difficult. Python is kind of open language. You not need that much of statements to do something. So you may find frustrating, but think for a good. Like you can work faster in a way. Yeah. And yes, companies still uses C++ and other low-level programming languages to speed up their process. So, so another question is, people from HR field, can you move to the data sciences? Yes. Even to be very specific, I have seen the position of HR data scientist. Many companies have that position where they need prior experience. So what happened if you learn these skills? You already have a prior experience, so you can directly talk about what are the pain points in your areas. For example, candidates predicting whether the candidate will join or not, and then there are different prediction model, like based on the you can create some of the model just by looking at the resume, like what are the great skills of this person and what is the right mapping for the job for a candidate. So you can do these kind of project by yourself, and yeah, you can try for HR data scientist, but that is not the limitation. You can try for all, but these are the some of the jobs which specifically looking for your skills. Does advanced DSA required to move into data science? I would say it depends. If you are trying to crack some of the companies like Google, Meta, and their ML engineer role, yes, you need dynamic programming, you need graph, and you need to know the knowledge of graph algorithms. If you're trying for data analyst role, you're trying for data scientist in a startup role, or some of the other companies, service based companies, you probably don't need that much of depth. Only some of the knowledge of LinkedIn, array, strings, and tree, these are fine. Hash map, hash tables, yeah, you can just do with that. Okay, again, the similar question is, data science need programming or coding? Yes, you need. See what happened. Every problem is unique. Suppose you starting in the data science and you have a lot of data to process. It's not about you take the data, you just throw it on the machine learning libraries and it can do the magic. Industry does not work in that way. You take the data, 80% of your time you spend with data. You write your Python script, you write your other JavaScript to find out or fetch some of the information from it. So that's why you need some programming language. Suppose a very specific example I want to give. Suppose you are building a dictionary. So you don't know how to build it. You just arranging in a row order. Your data will take like forever to process. Instead, you can use dictionary or hash map to index it. So these kind of skills is needed to faster your work, and that can help in just faster processing of the your data. So yeah, that is needed, and this is very much needed to clear the top product companies interviews. Anywhere you see the job description, you see this line is mentioned that for the data science you need at least some bit of programming. Yeah. So the question regarding transition from any other tech roles to data science, yes, there are different tech roles. For example, you may belong to in the testing domain, you may belong to software engineering domain, or you are a Salesforce developer, you are some other tool developer, and you want to come in the data science. That is possible. What you need, you already have a knowledge or technical knowledge for the areas that you're working. Now what you need to do is to align your knowledge with the data science. You need to just learn the data science skills and see here where you can create an impact. So if you're working something, you already have an access to data, just apply your skills there, whatever it may be. Just do it and find some of the good problems to solve, and that's it. And data scientists do not have any bar that you need a prior experience. Think like this: if everyone has a bar, like we need 5+ years of data science, like who will first get to know? No one can enter in this field. So even some companies post it, but just apply. If you feel you have a right set of skill, whatever the right role, just mention it. Just mention that thing that you have solved this much of problem in your resume summary and apply. It's no surprise that you can get a call, because companies just mention it, but they're quite lenient when they shortlist the candidates. What is the scope for Java programmers in data science field? Yes, you can use Java. There are good number of libraries. What one which I used was Weka for doing one of my research work in Java. You can use it. Language is not a bar, I again want to say. And some of the top libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch, you can similarly have their version in Java. So it's fine. You can use it. If you're very much stick to that only, it's fine, totally fine. You can use it. You just need to learn the concept. Whatever things that is available in Python or R, like 90% of things you can find in Java. So there is no problem. Yeah. The question is, I did my engineering and MBA in business analytics. Now I'm working in different domain as a quality analyst. Could you guide me how to move to data science? Yes, as I mentioned, even if you worked as a QA or anything, you can use. You're still in the technical roles. You can learn the skills, and you can just mention in your profile summary and everything that you want to move in this field. One of the issue that many people mistake, or the same kind of mistakes I've seen in different people's resume or their profile, is they want to move into data science, but they highlight so much about their past skills. Suppose you work as a SDAT in some company, it's good. Like you work for 10 years, it's good. But if you create your resume totally around that, on the first, you start with your profile that I have 15 years of experience in SDAT, I'm working on automation, this and that. My bad if I'm missing something because I'm not belong to that domain. Just trying to give you an example. Then you put some of these skills like Selenium and whatever the test automation needed. Then you put a work description that this is I did in that thing, and 10 lines of description on every work. Where is data science? How will someone give you a job in data science if you don't have anything? Just by applying will not give you a job. What you have to do, and this is apply for anyone want to apply or move into a data science, change your resume, change your approach first. What you want to achieve? You want to go data science, put your summary that you are a data science professional, have a strong skills in storytelling, or doing something with the data. Mention some of your project. Coming to skills, mention supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, then Python or SQL. You can still mention your other skills, but first start with the data science skill. Then mention about your projects. Don't feel that you have a 15 years of experience, so you don't need to mention project. It's fine. You need to show your data science skill if you want to transition. So put your projects, like you some car recommendation system, music recommendation system, or loan predictor, whatever they are. If you don't have projects, don't worry. Just open your Kaggle, create an account, start looking for some of the top projects, contribute them, learn the kernels that many of the user posted, and just run it by yourself, try something, and you can count that as a project, because company will also know that it's a Kaggle thing, it's a public thing. So you tried and you learn on these things. And then in your work description, highlight those points which can help you in your next job. Like you worked as something, and then you analyze that improving this can improve the system by 23% or x%. So mention those analytical lines. So what will happen is, using this concept, recruiter will see that okay, you want to move in data science, you're already a working professional because you applied something in your current work, you have a skills, you did the projects, and your current work you're using your analytical ability, so you're the right candidate for the job. So that's it. Do not think that you need to highlight too much of your current skills. It's fine, but think what you want to achieve next. See, one of the concept which I usually follow is, what thing can get you here cannot get you there. So if you want to go, maybe you want to become a leader, or want to become a tech lead or a data scientist or a principal data scientist, you need some more skills what you have today. So change yourself, do not stick to something, change with the environment. It's totally fine. Just put it in your resume, and then during the interview you can talk about it. But if you don't get a chance for the interview, then how can you showcase your skills? So that's why you need the right things to add in your resume. Keywords are very important, like supervised learning, clustering, unsupervised learning, whatever the job is required. So BCom is eligible for data science. Yes. Thanks, Abdul, for your question. Yes, you are eligible. As I said, many of the companies now started posting that they just need graduates for this, because maybe that's a minimum requirement, or even they don't. In the minimum requirement section, they just mention the skills needed to get a job. So make sure that you have a right skill, and that is good to go. Even that job not require the degree. Yeah. So just make sure whenever you apply, check the minimum requirement for that job. That if you they don't mention any degree, you're fine to apply. Yep. Yes. So the one of the question is, the total experience is 10 plus year, while my relevant is 3 plus. I'm finding difficulty in getting job due to role fitment issues. Yes, that happens because see, suppose you have a great experience in software design. Now you're moving, you want something in the ML design. So what you can do is just go check the job description, whatever is needed, and try to form your stories around that. Many times what we think is what we know is we should tell. It's not working that way. If you're transitioning, you first need to understand what is the job requirement, and you need to focus only on those areas. Fitment issues sometimes come if the company think that you are not right, or you don't have that kind of intensity or the skills needed. May not be technical. I say, for example, Google takes googliness now, so something different. So what you can do is just go through the company page and see where is the company's focus. For example, Amazon is very much customer focused. If you want to apply to Amazon, just see their core values. They're totally focused on customer. So whenever you're explaining to something or preparing a resume or applying for something, make sure that you, if you have any customer inputs, that you work with customer and you put something that directly impacts the customer, put those things in your resume. That will benefit a lot. That means you can fit, you already work on customer problems, you can fit there. Similarly, like other companies. So before going to the interviews, make sure you check two things. One is the job description. Make sure you cover it everything by your story. Try to fit the job description in your summary. Like whenever you are introducing something, that I am Abhishek, I'm working on XXX problem or something, try to put that I am very much customer focused because I saw this thing in your profile summary. Second, check the company's value. What are the values that companies work on? For example, is Facebook is, I guess, fail fast. You do something and immediately you can do like do the another experiment, it not works. So try to form yourself in that way. So by that way, it's maximizing your chance. I'm not saying you should fake it. You should not, and you must not. But what I'm saying, we already following these things, but we don't know before the interviews, and we are not prepared enough to answer those questions. That's why checking this and make a story around it. Keep ready with the stories, that whenever someone asks you what are your key strengths, be ready with this. Like in this project I worked on this, instead of just thinking like, okay, let me think about it. That will not gonna work. Just always come prepared, and recruiters and interviewers value your preparation. So yeah, thank you. Just please post your question. We'll be answering. Thank you. Where to practice Python problems? Okay, I used to do a lot of lead code forces, top coders, take part in competition. So as I said, like what happened whenever you take part in competitions, you compete with rest of the world. So it's very nice. Like you know that people can solve this problem in 5 minutes while you are taking 50 minutes. It's not a discouraging, but you know what are your areas to focus on. Like you are taking more times in code, or like you are taking more time in debugging the code. So you know that from the beginning you need to take care of edge cases. So yeah, lead code is one of the fine resources that you can use, and you don't need any of the premium of these platform. Just the open is fine, you can just practice it. So question from Farad that currently pursuing btech in ece, and developed interest in data science, and I am pursuing BS in data science application from IIT Madras. Yeah. So yes, it's fine. Whatever your BTech field, whatever your other graduate degree is fine. If you have the right skills on machine learning, you're good to go. Yes, I have done BBA and currently into sales. Please guide me how to switch to data science. Sales is a very important domain for data science because yeah, it's very important. Like I don't need to talk about it. So many times I've seen the specific position for data scientist and sales. So you can use your knowledge, you can directly apply those. Otherwise, what you can do, because you worked in sales, you already have some of the numbers. So you can prepare your resume, putting out those numbers, and then you're good to go. Learn these skills and see whatever the data you can access publicly. Can you do something and do some of the projects? Okay, one more thing I want to talk here. You don't need necessary like academic projects or something listed on Kaggle. Based on your experience, if you find anywhere the data is and data, I mean huge data is available or you can find online, so you can take that data and then find out whatever the problem in your domain. So earlier I was working in a problem that from a shipping industry. Then we realized like there are so much manual work. Like people are working 500 or 600 people just to identifying some of the things. So we thought, okay, why not automate it? We proposed a model in my previous companies, and it was just able to cut the cost by 30% because the algorithm can take some of the decisions of shipping, like where to put those things in the boxes. So think like this: whatever way you're working, your company might not have seen in the data science much, but if you have the access of the data, build some of the models or something, and then show to stakeholder, show to your company person that what do you think. Maybe your company can give you a data science task, you can get some of the experience and you can switch to some other company having the core roles, or maybe you can uh, be the first in your company to start a data science practice and you become a data scientist within your company. So yeah. Uh, Question from Kushal: DSA at what level is needed? I would say for top product companies, you need advanced DSA. For startups and middle level companies, which is so much focused on data science, uh, the knowledge of linked list, array, strings, trees, hash table is fine. But don't think like just you go learn what is hash table, how to apply. You need to solve the problems. Go to lead code, try some easy and medium problems. Hard problem usually people avoid for data scientists because data science core is skill in designing the algorithms and all. But yeah, if you want you can just try that, it's very good to go. So if I drop off BTech and pursue only for BS, would it affect my career negatively since I have to gap of 2 years? So you need a right set of skills. So I cannot comment that it is right or wrong to drop off your degree. Uh, but what I say is, if you need any of the job, you need the right set of skills. For example, data science, you need the right data science skills. Degree drop or anything is your personal choice based on many things people can do that. But yeah, I would say focus on your skills, and yes, that's fine, whatever the right skills needed. What comes under system design? System design is about building the system end to end, scalability. What is the cache? How you manage the server? Where you manage the server? What are the different regions you can manage? How you scale up when you get traffic from 100 to 1000 to millions to billions? These kind of things come in under the system design. So making your system like sufficient for the large amount of traffic and handling the system need. And it's not about external user. Sometimes you build something for your internal users also. That also comes under system design. So checking out what are the different databases you can think, how user query, what are the APIs and all. Okay. So what is the minimum package for data science role in service-based company? Yeah, so I'm not much familiar right now what is the role, but I can share you some of the resources where you can check. So you can go to Glassdoor, you can find what is the median salary. Median is a good measure, I feel, what for the different role. And think for that, those are only base packages, but for companies which is giving stocks, you need to count those also. Check for the stock current price and how much you can got. And other company is levels.fyi. You can just go type some of the companies and see what are the packages they offer. Make sure you filter based on your location, so that uh, if you're looking for a job in India but you're getting some US or UK based package, that may not help. So yeah. All LinkedIn profiles of data scientists have computer background. Can you give example of people who switched from non-CS background and are really good? Yes, Kirti, I would say I worked with many of the people. They are very good in data science, but have no specific computer science degree or even an engineering degree. But they are mastered in whatever they're doing right now. They're very good in. They learn mathematics. Yeah, even some of the have the degree in mathematics. So I worked with one great guy who had a degree, advanced degree in mathematics, and switched to data science. And like he was just a rock star in his field because he know all in and outs of algorithm, and understanding and explaining those algorithm was super easy for him. So yeah, I have seen people having non-CS background coming to data science. Okay, I have 9 years of experience in finance domain. What is the scope for data scientist? Puneet, I already answered this question. But yeah, you can apply. You can check for finance data scientist role, but you should not limit yourself. Uh, from question from Gotham. Hi Abhishek, how non-tech people with higher work experience switch to ML area, and how much SME important for DS and ML role? Okay. So subject matter expertise is important, yes, but not every time. What happened? Companies prefer fresh perspective. Suppose you're working in something, let's say automobile. Does that mean that you can never apply for a company like Netflix or Amazon, who is very much focused on recommendation? No, you can apply, and there are very high chances for you to success. Why? Because companies prefer diversity. That's they tried something whatever they already know, and they keep improving themselves. So coming a fresh perspective can bring a lot of new area. SMEs are important, yes, if it is a specific need. For example, company want to start something initiative in some area and want to develop more intelligence. Subject matter expertise is important, but you should not limit yourself that apply only on your domain. Just apply everywhere, whatever you think is right skills, based on the skills, not the domain. Yeah. Question from Ankita. Hi Abhishek, I'm a Salesforce professional but wanted to switch in data science. What is the right way to do that? Yeah, thanks. Also, I enjoyed your every video. Thank you, Ankita. So you can follow Scaler. You can subscribe to LinkedIn and YouTube channel for my more upcoming videos. And yes, you are a Salesforce professional. Salesforce, I know Einstein is one of the tool that is great tool. You can apply directly your intelligence. If not, you want to switch, you can maybe you already as a Salesforce developer, I think you already have a good programming knowledge. You can leverage it, and you can just write a code that can help you in getting a data and doing some prediction. First, use an Einstein, make something great for your company. If not, learn Python or other language, do some of the open data, and then do it. Yeah. Is work life balance important? Work life balance, yeah, it's important. And data scientist job, sometimes it's hectic, sometimes it is not. It's just part of the work, like how you want to do it. So yeah, I prefer work life balance, and that keeps me motivated for my next day of work. So yeah. A question from Bharat. Hi Abhishek, which transition is easier from software engineer, ML engineer, or data scientist? ML engineer is probably easier one because you already know in and outs of the system how to code and everything. You just need the basic ML skills and put them into the production. Yeah, but it's not limiting you for the data scientist. ML engineer is an easy one for you to switch. And just to add, both pays equally good, so you don't need to think like I should prefer data scientist only. Question. I want to practice the fundamentals of data science. Yes, you can join some of the program, or you can go to Kaggle. You can build some of the community there, and you can just start doing the projects. Suppose you're not able to find anyone, maybe you difficulty in finding some of the mentors. What you can do, you can just do the Kaggle. Users posted their entire solution here. First you can take that, run that script, see why they do this, and then try to improve them, then see another solution, try to merge the solution and do better. So that is one of the way I used to learn data science in my early days. For data scientists, big data is needed or not? For some position, yes, because every company is moving in the big data domain, so you need some of the expertise. But it's not limited because companies have big data engineers or ML engineers for doing these specific tasks. Data scientists may not be required all the time. Do interesting question. Do data science professional earn less than software developers? Uh, I don't think so, because industry is moving. Both are domains and depends on the requirements where it goes. So you can find more example on Glassdoor or Levels.fi, as I mentioned. But it's a equally good job. You don't need to think about the pay much. And based on the future, like the skills, what the market is moving, how every company is going to be AI powered, it data science will remain for a long time. So you know you need to worry much about switching to data science. That's why I am still in this domain, and I love this. Uh, which type of projects is helpful in placement specific for ML? Okay. First, start with some of the basic projects that has some of the recommendation like sales forecasting or stock market price forecasting. If you're comfortable, go with some other projects that include natural language processing, for example, or like just identifying the sentiment. Then do for vision projects like face recognition or segmentation. And still you want to do something, build some auto ML system, build some speech recognition system, use transformer encoders, whatever you want. So start with beginning and then add those in your resume, keep applying, then learn more advanced skill. Every day try to improve yourself. So okay, yeah. um, can you please can you please share some of the resources for studying data science? I thanks Ansh for your question. I shared a lot in the beginning. Please watch it again because it has a long list of 10-15 resources that you can follow for each of the things. Okay, we have less time, so apologies for not taking all of your question, but please put that in the comments. I will make sure me or someone from the team can take your questions. I'm just taking few more questions because we are out of time. Mm, so right, please find roadmap for data science. Yes, you can follow whatever the skills title: Python, mathematics, machine learning, deep learning, and you are good to go. Also, one of the thing which helped me a lot in learning or becoming every day better is to follow a lot of open researches that is going on. try to build a habit of reading a research paper or following your company's blogs or maybe top companies whatever they publish online, mostly available free. So that is, where the new direction is going. That will always help you. And do something like, whenever you're reading, make notes. Think like why you're doing it this way, why not in the other way. If some contact is available, pose there your question, and by that thing you may be noticed by some of the hiring manager or something. If nothing happens, at least you will learn. That is important. So keep doing it. Pathway and roadmap for study data science, as I mentioned earlier, please check it, the initial of the video. So Tarun has experience DevOps, and unable to decide where should I grow in this field and switch to another. Tarun, very nice question, and I would recommend you to try MLOps. There are good number of tools. MLOps is very much mature right now. DevOps, I think it is easier for you to switch to MLOps, and it's very interesting. So whether you want to grow in your field or want to switch in data science, it's completely up to you. But I can ensure you data science is a promising field, and just try your hands on in MLOps. It's cost you nothing. You can just try it. Some of the resources I want to share to try for MLOps and ML design is one of the book by Chip on machine learning system design. You can also check her videos that is posted on the Stanford website. Just search for machine learning design videos. Also, made with ML, it's a website. They have post many of the things related to MLOps. So just keep checking on that. Okay. Yeah. Currently working as a Yes, I'm currently working as a big data developer, experience with Java, full stack, Tableau tools, Scala programming, Apache Kafka, Apache Spark. Anything else is needed to switch to the roles? Nandan, yeah, I think the most important thing is needed is just you need to apply, create your resume, and just prepare. Uh, if you want to go into the more inside of machine learning side, then you need some data science knowledge. So try to acquire some basic data science knowledge that can help you. Okay, how data science can be used in marketing field? Data scientists, yes. Again, I would say I have seen the roles where marketing data scientists are needed. Data science, marketing already have enough number of tools. I feel which have the intelligence built in, but that does not mean that you don't have a chance. Because many times, because of data restriction and lot, companies have the limitation that they cannot share the data or cannot use some of the tools. So just check those. You can apply your you marketing. You have a lot of data. Think like do some internal project. What is working, what is not working, and you're good to go. Yeah, yeah. Someone How can someone, question from Gulshan, how can someone from manufacturing sector with 14 years of experience make a smooth transition? Will past experience be valued? Yes, I worked on the manufacturing problems. I worked with SMEs. So what happened? You can definitely go transition whatever the knowledge you can earn during this time. You can just apply. You know better because you have 14 years of experience. You know better than others. Like where are the data is coming? What are the key improvement areas? So one thing, guys, a general advice for everyone: if you are switching the roles, try to find what are the problem exists with your data. First, some learn some of the about data science, then you know what data science can do. Now think in a reverse way. You are already working in this, you already have a data. How can you use your knowledge earned in solving the existing problem? Maybe you can do some of the breakthrough research, some kind of publication, or many people do patent in this way. They find something that is super useful for their companies or outside. So just be it. uh, Okay, so I think we are out of time and we have a lot of questions. So it's thank you. It's super useful. Like even I learned a lot whenever uh, I see all of your question. I know what people are thinking. How can I help them in transitioning? So whatever your question, if I'm not covered, my bad for that. Please keep posting in the chat, in the comment section, either on LinkedIn or YouTube, where you're watching this, and someone from my team or I try to answer those. Also, many people ask me about what is my career journey, how I got in this. So I got a good number of rejections before doing it, because I was not prepared, or I lacked so much of his skills which is needed, to be honest, for a data scientist. Even today, I don't have the complete set of his skills to make a perfect data scientist. That's how I am trying to improve. So I have prepared another video along with a scaler in that covers my career journey, like how I started, what are the things helped me to land a role where I am today, and what are the key challenges or my learning throughout this process. So I want to share that with you so that you can maybe in future, whenever you decide or doing something, you can just take some of my lesson that can probably help you. So do watch it. It will be coming very soon. Subscribe to Scalar's YouTube channel and LinkedIn so that you can get the updates. And yep, I think we are good for today. Thank you, everyone. If you like the session, please drop a note. It means a lot to me. And if you need some of the specific session on some of your specific topic, just paste it. So we'll try to cover those in the upcoming sessions. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of your questions.